So if you had to explain like the type of vibe that you give off your music, what type of vocals or what type of instruments do you use? I know a lot of people like to use bass and saxophones, and
I can explain it perfectly. This is exactly.
People are going to look this up and listen to your stuff. But I mean, if you had to explain it through your words, because that's the hardest thing as an artist, explaining what is your genre and vibe and what makes you different.
So what I focus on when my DJ sets and when I make music is the bass line. If you don't have a good bass line, in my opinion, you can't really move people that much. I mean, drums, you can, sure. But my thing is bass lines, really good melodies, and vocals that are very simple but grab you, you know? As simple as that, to be honest. It's something that I love most is bass lines.
What are the top like synthesizers that you use?
I use.
You don't have to give away your secrets, but I mean like some main known ones.
Don't worry. I don't really mind. It's Diva's one of my favorites. Avenger, which is semi-new, semi-not. Serum's always good, obviously. And then I use a lot of just like add-on plugins to make the sound crunchier, analog feel. Apart from Coachella, I have a entertainment company called EQUL Entertainment, and we throw events, we do production. What else do we do? We do a lot of branding, collaborations.
Which, if you wanted to start, what that happened, your first party was 2 years ago, right? And that's before you bought the house.
Yeah. So 2 years ago we threw. So EQUL actually owns like a portion of Deepspace. That's kind of how I own Deepspace. Deepspace actually threw an event 2 years ago, which we helped out with, and we booked Eric Murillo for that. It was our first Coachella event, and actually did really successful. Packed crowd, and it was a day party. So like everybody had their Coachella outfits, vibing, all pretty much getting shit faced the day, and then going to the festival. But it was a great first party because we learned a lot, and then the second party,
which was last year, right?
We had the EQUL State, yeah, which was last year. And
for people that don't know what that is, I mean, you guys made it on like the headlines for top 3 parties at Coachella.
Yeah,
right?
I actually got some good.
So people that go every year, they might. I mean, what's the name again?
It's for the party, or
what was the party's name?
Deepspace. It's called Deep in the Desert. So we might be throwing one this year. We're still in the works. But last 2 years we've been throwing a Deep in the Desert party, and last year we threw a 420 party for the second weekend actually too.
And take me through the artists that you guys got, because kind of crazy who you got there.
Deepspace, we booked Eric Murillo again. Great artists. And then the second weekend for the 420 party, we booked Ty Dolla $ign and Rich the Kid. And it was, oh my God, it was crazy.
That was crazy. And we brought him to the house.
Dude, so we figured it out. It was like...
Wasn't YG there also? Just chilling.
Maybe.
I think it was just there chilling.
I don't know, to be honest. I forgot. But definitely the whole Wiz Khalifa crew was there. I forgot their name. They have a certain crew name, but the problem about that particular party was that the winds were so bad that day. They were, I think, 100-mile-per-hour winds.
Second weekend of Coachella was insane.
It was brutal. Like,
I lost my hat. The hat flew off and landed in the little island pond that's at the house. If you guys don't know what the house looks like, what's the Instagram for the house?
EQUL Estate, at EQUL Estate. So it's EQUL Estate.
And if anyone wants to rent it out for a weekend, you have the opportunity to
just message the Instagram.
Have your bachelor party, whatever the heck you guys want to do.
Yeah.
Super
Weddings,
cool house.
Whatever you want. Honestly, golf tournaments. You could rent it out for.
You can have dye tournaments apparently.
Oh yeah, that was not good.
Bunch of random things.
But the party was crazy. I mean, it was a great party. Just the wind was so bad. We had cabanas surrounding the main stage, which people could buy, people could buy bottle service, and we'd bring it to them. Obviously, it was kind of, we put it like a nightclub environment.
It's your typical Las Vegas vibe in the middle of Coachella Valley.
Pool party. I mean, that's perfect explanation. It's
literally island party because this thing's an island.
Yeah,
super cool.
It was cool, but the problem was the winds were so bad and the cabanas kept falling over. So like halfway through the party, we finally said, "Fuck it," and bring everybody inside the house, which was. We were not prepared for that. Let me say that.
That was really funny. I was like, how many people can you fit in this house?
Rich the Kid just got done performing. We bring everybody inside the house, and I like run to the top loft because it's a big open area, inside the main house, and there's a huge loft up there too. And I start setting it up with DJ equipment, monitors, stuff like that, and we get it ready for everybody to come in, and we have all these security guards like preparing for shit to go down. It was intense. Everybody starts coming in. Wiz Khalifa's crew starts going to the loft. We have Ty Dolla $ign going to the loft, and I go up there, and literally we had so many people up there that the loft was like shaking, like it was about to fall. Like the loft was about to crash. And
see, I was in the kitchen. I was in the kitchen with Ethan and everyone else, and we were just eating food and chilling.
As everybody's smoking weed too. It's a 420 party. Everybody's like faded as hell.
Who performed in the house again?
It was just Ty Dolla $ign. Yeah.
All right.
It was just Ty Dolla $ign. I think he was showing his like one of his new songs to perform one of his new songs. I don't know.
So what was it like being a 19-year-old? I mean, you have crazy amount of, I assume you had an artist pass or something. Like you were performing in a little tent, but still you're still performing at Coachella.
Not at all. So actually,
what's it like if you had to explain to a kid, what's it like performing and the thing that you
performing?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I was super shy getting onto the decks for the first time in front of a crowd. And you kind of get used to it. You kind of get used to the crowd. You get familiar with how to move the crowd. And when I played Coachella, it was kind of the same thing. Like you get up there and you play for the crowd, and you see what they like and you move towards that. That's kind of how I DJ. Is kind of how I've been doing it for years. Is moving the crowd to what they want. Because some people don't like artists just because they stay the same or they're very flat during their sets. But I like to cater to the crowd because I watch their body language, and it really helps because.
And then when all his friends all jump in front of you in the very front,
yeah, it's like,
make you laugh every single time. As much as you're not trying to laugh.
Yeah.
All the boys cheering you on.
I love it.
So you're doing that every single week, or at least once a week, right?
Try to. Mm-hmm,
so at the same time, you started producing. I mean, you went from just playing other people's music to making your own music. And then out came mixing with a bunch of synthesizers and things, and you popped out loving house music.
Yep.
And so take me on that journey.
So let me tell you about this. This is an interesting story. I started producing 4 years ago. I went to a school called Matrix Sessions where I was taught how to make EDM. It's like a one-on-one mentoringship. And then I went to Symmetry Academy where I studied how to mix and master a song. So professionally mix and master fully through the end of it. And then I'm able to play it afterwards. So I played my songs in the clubs right after I finished them. But how I fell in love with house music was a different story. I actually went to Ibiza in 2016 for my first year. And I don't know what it was, but it's some crazy vibe about the island that's just like you don't see it anywhere else. It's totally European. It's
house.
It's house music. Yeah. It's you
First
can
time I ever heard house music was when I went to Europe.
It's crazy. Like you
They
go to Europe,
love it.
They freaking love it.
Yeah.
Like it's insane how much they like it.
We got our pop here, and they got their house, techno house, like tropical bass house. Like it's cool.
It is. It really is. I went to Space in Ibiza, and unfortunately it closed down actually a year after I went. But apparently that club was open for 27 years, and that's where I fell in love with house music. And I came back, and I'm like, I can't get enough of this. And literally, that's how like my whole DJing career kind of started, was after I visited Ibiza, because that's my style now is house music, and that's what I play in every club.
How'd you start off with music?
Take
me.
So I kind of fell in love with EDM more so than people my age at the time. I think I was like 15, 16 when I fell in love with EDM. I always saw like Tiesto, Afrojack, those guys killing it on stage. I watched a lot of YouTube. So.
And did you have a piano, guitar, anything?
I had nothing like that. Actually, I never grew up on music, so I never really learned how to play an instrument. So I kind of just like geared towards DJing, as cliche as that sounds, but it's true. I bought myself my first mixer that was like $300. It was like a small little Pioneer thing. And I literally practice on that every day, watching YouTube videos and just like self-taught.
Is there a certain type of YouTube videos of people that are still around that you can name that people can learn off of that you learned? Or was it mostly just typing in, how do you do this? How do you do that?
There was this one guy, he wore a hat like every single video he did. It was a different hat. I forgot his name.
That was like the OG YouTube time.
Yeah, that's the
first kicked off. There are only so many people doing that.
I know, that was literally the OG.
EDM was kicking off. EDM wasn't even.
That's like 2011, 2012 is when they started introducing like big festivals.
Yeah.
And that's when like they started recording them too and posting them on YouTube. It was really, really fun to watch. And I just fell in love with it, and I wanted to do it so bad. So I bought my mixer, and
this was during high school, right?
Yeah, during high school. I was like 16, 17. And then after I got decently good, I saw this event group that one of my friends was part of, and he invited me to one of their meetings, and it was called Mayhem Events with Marvin, super cool guy. He kind of paved the way for where I'm at right now. But in order for me to play a gig, I'd had to sell tickets. And so I would go to every meeting we had, and we'd have these promotion nights where we'd go to these festivals like Beyond Wonderland, and we'd have so many flyers. And we'd flyer every car in the parking lot, and then go right when the festival ended, we'd stand right outside the festival and hand out flyers, and that's how I kind of got people's numbers and sold tickets there too as well. And
that's where you learned how to sell.
Yeah.
Be a promoter, marketer, which came along with everything else you do.
Exactly.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed these short clips, don't forget to go on Mike for Success on Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Music to check out the full podcast. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and put comments down below on things you want to hear in the future.